Christy is one of those titles at TIFF that everyone's got an eye on. It's the story of Christy Martin, played by Sydney Sweeney, who rises to the top of women's boxing while simultaneously struggling with a violently abusive home life. A vehicle for Sweeney, it's not only the ultimate test of whether she can carry a movie on her own, but also whether she's versatile enough for a decidedly non-glamorous change-of-pace role. While she's been under the microscope of a public that seems increasingly obsessed with her to an almost unnerving degree, even her biggest detractors should be impressed with her work here. Indeed, Sweeney vanishes into the role having gained 40 pounds of muscle to convincingly portray a fighter. It's strong work in a well-directed biopic. Directed by David Michaud, who you may know from Animal Kingdom and The King, Martin's story seems tailor-made for a film, even if at times it's a pretty grim one to watch. Sweeney plays Christy as a woman profoundly unsure of who she's supposed to be. While clearly gay, she tries to live a straight lifestyle, marrying her trainer Jim, played by Ben Foster, and even homophobically baiting some of her opponents. She carefully crafts an image of being more feminine than the typical female boxer, from wearing pink trunks to driving a pink BMW. Sweeney is convincing in the ring, giving Martin a lot of grit but also layers of vulnerability, especially in the scenes with her parents. Merritt Wever is uncommonly loathsome as perhaps the least sympathetic screen mother since Mommy Dearest, while Ethan Embry plays a loving but complacent father. While Sweeney's clearly the star, Foster also has a substantial role as Christy's Svengali-like trainer and husband. He latches onto her talent and quickly dominates her life. Before long, he's giving off strong Eric Robertson Star 80 vibes as Jim loses his grip on reality, falls into drugs alongside Christy, and becomes increasingly abusive. Without spoiling too much, those familiar with Christy's story will know it takes a very dark turn. Michaud doesn't shy away from domestic abuse, depicting it with unflinching intensity. While it remains to be seen how audiences will accept Sweeney in a decidedly unglamorous role, no one could deny that she delivers. Michaud proves to be a strong director for her to work with. Despite a lengthy 137-minute running time, the film rarely drags, and while the subject matter is heavy, Michaud avoids being oppressive, finding moments of levity, such as when Chad L. Coleman pops up as Don King, or in the recreation of Christie's 90s pay-per-view promos. Anthony Partos' score, recalling much of his earlier collaborations with Michaud, adds further depth. Of course, the big TIFF question is whether this will put Sweeney in Oscar contention. While I enjoyed the movie, I don't quite see it as Oscar fare, as it hits some of the more predictable biopic beats. I also found Foster's performance uneven. At times, he slips into hamminess, leaning on too obvious tricks like a paunch or a bad comb-over. It often felt like he was playing dress-up, where Sweeney, who also undergoes a physical transformation, doesn't overplay her role and feels more naturalistic. Still, Christy is a very engaging biopic, though the grim subject matter may limit its commercial appeal. Black Bear is actually going to release it as their first major release this November, and hopefully audiences will give it a chance. More than anything, though, it proves that whatever you may think of Sydney Sweeney, her legitimate talent as an actress cannot be dismissed. And I give it 7 out of 10.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. JoBlo was created by movie fans for movie fans, and we appreciate your support.